What if I told you the world's most unforgettable wildlife moments aren't in the famous parks or glossy travel brochures but in the quiet corners almost no one visits? Today, we're unlocking 9 hidden encounters, so rare, you may only see them once in a lifetime. Asterisk 9. The Desert Elephants of Namibia. Location, Kanin Region. Namibia. Best time, June to December. Difficulty, moderate to challenging. The desert heat shimmers on the horizon like a living mirage. The landscape is so vast and empty that you could look across 100 miles of sand and still see nothing but swirling dust. And then suddenly something moves. At first it looks like a haze, maybe a heat distortion, but then the shape becomes clearer, larger, unmistakably alive. An elephant. Then another, then an entire family slowly emerging from the dunes as if the desert itself has decided to take shape. These are Namibia's desert-adapted elephants, one of the most extraordinary herds on Earth. They are taller, leaner, and longer-limbed than their savanna relatives. Their feet are wider, allowing them to walk across hot sand almost effortlessly. Their behavior is astonishing. They travel farther than any elephant population on Earth, sometimes up to 70 kilometers in a single night in search of food or water. Why? It's worth the effort. Seeing elephants in Namibia isn't like seeing elephants anywhere else. There are no crowds, no fences, no roads humming with safari trucks. Instead, you follow winding riverbeds, most of them bone dry, guided only by faint footprints that crisscross the sand like ancient hieroglyphs. And when you finally find them, it feels like discovering a secret universe. A mother shielding her calf from dust storms. A bull using its trunk to tap at dormant wells that only elephants seem to know about. A family moving in complete silence through a sun-baked valley that would kill almost any other creature. It's not just wildlife viewing. It's witnessing pure adaptation, sculpted by millions of years of survival. 8. The bioluminescent shores of southern Thailand. Location, Koh Rong, Tonsai. Remote Kava's. Best time, April to September. Difficulty, easy to moderate. Night falls fast in the islands of southern Thailand. Within minutes, the sky turns inky black. The sound of the ocean becomes louder, more rhythmic, almost like breathing. You step into the shallow water. It seems normal, dark, warm, calm. But then you move your hand on, the sea explodes with electric blue sparks. Bioluminescent plankton? Tiny organisms that react to movement by producing pure glowing light. Every splash becomes a miniature supernova. Every step leaves a shimmering trail behind you. Stand completely still, and the ocean looks ordinary. Move even slightly, and you're surrounded by a swirling, electric galaxy. This phenomenon happens in many places across the world, but Thailand's remote bays are unique. The plankton here glow brighter, react faster, and gather in astonishing densities. Some travelers kayak across the glowing water, every paddle stroke a burst of neon. Others float on their backs in complete darkness, watching tiny stars drift across their skin. Why it's worth the effort? Because it's one of the very few wildlife encounters where you don't just watch, you participate. You reach your hand beneath the surface and literally stir the night to life. It's impossible to film, nearly impossible to photograph. And maybe that's what makes it so special. The memory stays with you in a way no camera ever could. 7. The snow monkeys of the Japanese Alps. Location, Jigo, Nagano Prefecture. Best time, January to March. Difficulty, easy. With a mountain walk deep in the mountains of Japan, a narrow trail winds through snow-covered pines. The air is crisp. Every step crunches softly beneath your boots, and then you see its steam rising from a natural hot spring. The surface ripples. Snowflakes melt instantly as they land. And in the middle of the pool sits a monkey. Not running, not climbing, just soaking, relaxing, eyes half closed in total, unfiltered bliss. These are the Japanese snow monkeys, or macaques, famous for their hot spring baths. They discovered these springs long before tourists ever arrived, and now entire families come to warm themselves in the freezing winter. You'll see juveniles splash each other like children at a swimming pool. You'll see older males sit motionless, looking like tiny, wise philosophers contemplating the meaning of life. And occasionally, a mother holds her infant close, steam rising from their fur like swirling incense. Why it's worth the effort? Because few wildlife encounters feel as emotionally human as this one. Monkeys lounging like spa guests, babies climbing their mothers' heads, a troop grooming each other while gently closing their eyes in comfort. It's funny, heartwarming, peaceful, and strangely meditative all at once. And the best part? You're not in a zoo. There, in their natural environment, choosing to be there, choosing to bathe, choosing to interact. It's a window into animal behavior that feels familiar, relatable, and deeply special. Asterisk, the wind settles, the footsteps fade, and as our journey across the planet's hidden wilderness comes to an end, take a moment right now to let everything you've seen truly sink in, because the wildlife encounters we explored today, they aren't just destinations. They're reminders that somewhere far beyond the noise, beyond the deadlines, beyond the lights of the cities we've built, the world is still breathing in ways we seldom stop to notice. A desert elephant quietly navigating ancient riverbeds, a glowing sea that responds to your touch with its own living light, a snow monkey closing its eyes as warm mist rises around its face, A firefly forest pulsing to a rhythm no human can understand. An elusive wolf trusting the silence of a highland morning. A million monarch butterflies lifting into the air as if the forest itself is taking flight. These moments, these hidden gems aren't about checking boxes on a bucket list. They're about remembering that life is bigger, stranger, more magical than we often allow ourselves to believe. When was the last time you stood in a place so quiet you could hear your own heartbeat? When was the last time you felt small in the best way possible? When was the last time nature made you forget your phone, your worries, your calendar, your everything, and just be? Maybe you haven't, or maybe you just haven't in a long time. And that's okay, because that's what journeys like this are for. Not to tell you what to see, but to remind you what still exists. These encounters aren't reserved for the elite. They're not for the lucky few. They're for anyone willing to go a little farther. Wake up a little earlier, hike a little longer, or simply open their heart a little wider. And here's something most people don't realize. You don't have to travel across the world to feel this connection. Sometimes the hidden gem is a quiet lake near your home. A night walk where you notice the stars for the first time in years. A moment with an animal that wasn't staged, expected, or planned. A moment that simply happened and reminded you what wonder feels like. But if these 9 encounters have shown us anything, it's that the world still has secrets, and it rewards those who seek them. So if even one of these moments sparked something inside you, a curiosity, a longing, a sense of awe, then hold on to that. Nurture it. Follow it. Because wonder is not a luxury. It's fuel. It's inspiration. It's the force that pushes us to explore, to protect, and to appreciate the wild places that still remain. And speaking of protecting, every place we visited today is fragile. Every creature we met is facing challenges: habitat loss, warming climates, shrinking ecosystems, human pressure. These encounters exist now, but without care, they may not always stop. So as you close this video, carry something with you. Not just excitement for the adventures you might one day chase, but gratitude for the ones still possible, and responsibility for the ones worth preserving. If you've made it all the way to this point, thank you, not just for watching, but for caring. It means more than you know. And if this journey brought you even one moment of wonder, one moment of stillness, one moment where you felt connected to something bigger than yourself, then I invite you to stay a little longer. Hit that like button. It tells me you want more stories like these. Subscribe, so you don't miss the next hidden corner of the world we uncover together. And tell me in the comments, which of these encounters calls to you the loudest? Which one would you chase, even if it meant going farther than you've ever gone before? Because out there right now, the world is still writing stories in sand, in snow, in forest light, in ocean glow. And if you're willing, I'd love to take you to all of them. Thank you for traveling with me. Thank you for feeling with me. And until our next adventure, keep your eyes open, your footsteps light, and your heart ready for wonder. The world is waiting.